Sunao is a high school student who unexpectedly encountered a tiny creature. Most would find it odd, but since the creature is so adorable, everyone's thrilled to have it around. One day, Sunao noticed his fridge was moving. Opening it, he saw the little creature, but Sunao didn't think much of it. He left the creature in the fridge while he ate. Eating chips and mayo, he used their first letters to name it Potemayo. And that's how they met. You might wonder how this little thing got into Sunao's fridge, but that'll remain a mystery. Besides, no one really cares where this cutie came from. What matters is that it's adorable and everyone loves it. Potemayo also adores Sunao, but faces competition from Mikan. She's a girl head over heels for Sunao, and Potemayo senses this somehow. Potemayo warns Mikan that Sunao is hers, but Mikan thinks she's just saying she's hungry. Speaking of which, Sunao brought bread and tells Mikan to pick whichever she wants. Mikan's eyes light up and she seizes the chance to take what she wants, Sunao himself. Potemayo goes on the offensive, lunging at Mikan's face to show who's boss. As Potemayo roughs up Mikan's face, Sunao's giving her bread to take home. As you can see, Mikan is head over heels, which makes Potemayo aggressive. She's not just upset by Mikan's actions, but also by Mikan's thoughts. Somehow, Potemayo can sense emotions telepathically. Another surprise, she sometimes wets Sunao's bed. She looks like some kind of dog, but she's not. Potemayo can't speak, but learned to say Sunao's name, though not fluently. Potemayo always tries to please Sunao, like giving him food, which she first takes from Mikan. Mikan doesn't mind, as she's happy Sunao eats her food. She thinks it's like they're married. Just thinking that makes her faint into her friend's meal. All's normal until a chick suddenly appears and hits Potemayo. It seems to like her, as it now always sits on her head. Potemayo dislikes it, but everyone says it makes her cuter, so she accepts the odd bird. The bad part is the bird uses her head as a toilet. Meanwhile, another strange creature like Potemayo emerges from Sunao's fridge. This new character breaks things, then fixes them with duct tape. It can be destructive, but doesn't want to upset anyone. At school, Potemayo waits to catch the bird and punish it for pooping on her head. Other classmates arrive. One's Mudu, nicknamed Mutan by his big friend Kaoru. So we'll call him Mutan too. Mutan tries to hug Potemayo, as he's the only one who hasn't yet. And it seems it'll stay that way. Meanwhile, Mikan's with her friends Nene and Kyo. Kyo made some chocolate treats. She's a great cook but drops a candy. Someone comes to split it in half. It's the new creature from Sunao's fridge. His fridge holds veggies and small creature portals apparently. The purple creature tapes the broken candy together. All the girls stare at her. Surprised, they see she's like Potemayo and want to hug her. But she gets nervous, shooting rays from her ear things. The girls chase her, but she keeps zapping. He encounters Mutan and Kaoru, but they're greeted with another lightning bolt. Potemayo, chasing the strange bird, also gets zapped. The purple creature manages to escape, but Kaio keeps searching. He finds her, and the little one becomes defensive. But Kyo manages to dodge her side just in time. I wonder what would have happened if she'd sliced him in half. The little one would probably tape his face back together. Anyway, Kyo came to offer her one of his sweets. Though wary, she tries the candy and ends up liking it. Kyo is pleased, but the little one gets nervous and flees. Yet she's charmed by the candy and watches Kyo from afar. Hours later, Kyo receives a dead animal. Everyone's scared, but Kyo sees it as a thank you from the purple one. After class, Kyo seeks her out to give her more candy. Kyo decides to give the little one a name. He calls her Guchuko. Upon hearing this, Guchuko falls head first. Summer's coming and Mikan can't wait to see Nao's summer uniform, while Mutan's eager to see Potemayo's new look. Just thinking about it gets him all worked up. Maybe he should get his head checked out. Kaoru tells him to stop, saying he's acting like a creepy virgin in front of everyone. Mutan tries to approach Potemayo, but she gets aggressive, not wanting him near. Her aggression scares Mutan so much he wets himself. Kaoru brings him a change of clothes, and Mutan wants to try approaching Potemayo again, more naturally this time. By more naturally, I mean putting on a normal face. And by normal face, I mean looking constipated. His ugly mug scares Potemayo so much she pees herself too. She literally soaks Nao with her urine. Nao smacks them both and hops in the shower to clean up. Problem is, she's got no spare clothes, and neither does Mutan. And to top it off, he's wet himself again from the shock. He brought the only thing he found, cheerleader outfits from his club. So he's now put on a skirt. Both wear skirts, surprising everyone. Women like it, men worry they might like it too. Mikan worries about his now and tells him to sit properly as everything's visible, showing too much underwear and to take better care. Now follows advice, holding his skirt when wind blows, making men question their preferences. Their concern becomes reality. At lunch, Kyo feeds Guchuko while chatting with friends. Nene asks Mikan what he likes about his Nao. Mikan describes every detail, big and small, that he loves about Nao. He talks so much that Guchuko steals his food. Potemayo gets her dried clothes and Nao puts on hers too. Potemayo returns to class and everyone hugs her. Mutan, left out, pokes Kaworu's belly to see if it's soft like Potemayo's, but it's not. Kaworu apologizes for not being as cuddly as Potemayo. Mikan takes a bath, recalling Nene's question about what she likes about her Nao. She feels her half-hour answer wasn't specific enough, as if talking that long wasn't enough. She starts listing Nao's likable traits again, rambling for an hour while still in the tub. Forgetting time, she faints from staying too long and is taken by ambulance. Potemayo watches TV and mimics the dance moves she sees. Hungry, Potemayo and Nao go out to buy some buns. On the way, Potemayo's cuteness literally kills someone. At the supermarket, Nao tells Potemayo not to move, and she takes it literally. She doesn't move at all, which includes not breathing, so she holds her breath. A girl comes by, mistakes her for a cat, and takes her away. Potemayo's traumatized, but Nao considers buying ice cream until he sees the prices. He suggests going to Mikan's store where it's cheaper. Potemayo dislikes this as her rival is there. Mikan calls it a miracle that Nao came just as she thought of him. Mikan's father watches Potemayo, who holds her breath for some reason. She's taken a liking to it, and the father joins in the game too. They compete in breath holding. Potemayo wins, but the prize is the father's foul breath in her face. Potemayo is knocked out. Just then, Mikan's mom shows up with her gossip buddy. Soon, the whole neighborhood knows Mikan's crushing on Nao. Now Mikan's trying to keep Nao from finding out. Mikan's mom tells Nao it's great he's helping with the shopping. Nao looks down, denying it. Mikan overhears and recalls Kaio's words. Kaio said Mikan should cook for Nao, who probably hasn't had home-cooked meals since his mom died. Mikan wasn't sure if it was Nao's mom or dad, but Nao confirms it was his mother. To save Nao from more awkward questions, Mikan jumps in and hands him the groceries. Nao gets it and thanks her with a relieved smile. Mikan's heart skips a beat and she feels a bit flustered, so all this leads to her being taken back in the ambulance. Meanwhile, Guchuko gets hungry for ice cream and Kyo's sweets. Thinking of her makes him blush and cause chaos, resulting in a branch falling on Mutan who is passing by. After shopping, they prepare chicken soup. Everyone eats, even the odd chick. A cannibal act, though chickens eating chicken is proven normal. Nao wonders what this chicken really is and ponders Potemayo's nature. He questions its origin and purpose, but is content despite occasional bedwetting issues. It starts snowing and a snowflake causes Guchuko to fall headfirst. Guchuko hates snow, tries to cut it but can't, gets angrier and starts cutting everything. And Mutan pays the price again. Sono and Potemayo go out and a man approaches. Potemayo stares at him, so he gives her a rare candy he had. He gives her more as she likes it. Mikan appears, thrilled to spend Christmas with Sono. Meanwhile, Potemayo keeps getting sweets from the strange man. Potemayo bloats from eating odd things. When girls try to hug her, she vomits. Kaio offers Potemayo real candy, homemade sweets she made herself. Potemayo happily accepts, but Guchuko suddenly hits her. Guchuko got jealous because Potemayo was going to eat Kaio's candy. Kyo lectures Guchuko, so Nene, seeing Guchuko's jealousy, tries to provoke her by asking Kyo to feed her chocolate. From afar, Guchuko watches her beloved Kyo dote on another woman. Guchuko reluctantly accepts defeat this time. The class throws a small Christmas party, first fetching the forgotten teacher from the staff room. The celebration begins, but Potemayo notices Guchuko's absence and tries to leave candy on her tree, but falls. Guchuko is actually in class, secretly eating sweets. As the party and classes end, summer vacation begins. Kyo and Nene notice Mikan's sadness, guessing she'll miss Nao during the break. Later, Guchuko finds one of Kyo's homemade candies while walking. A trail of these candies seems to be forming a path. Guchuko decides to follow the path, munching on candy, when a wild dog appears. She zaps it away with her annihilation ray. Guchuko reaches the last treat, a decorated tree with a pillow and dessert on top, set up for her comfort. This tree, it turns out, is in front of Kyo's house. Kyo arranged all of this for Guchuko. He wishes her Merry Christmas and tells her to bundle up to avoid getting sick. Guchuko, overwhelmed by such affection, doesn't know how to react. Well, actually she does, by leaving a dead animal as a thank you gift. New Year's approaching, Maiken bumps into her now. Potemayo goes defensive, but Maiken wants to invite Now to a New Year's party. She musters courage to ask, but the strange man interrupts, bringing an odd cake. So Now stays home, but he's not relaxed as his dad drags him to the hot springs. His dad, Kudai, is an ethnologist who's always traveling. That's why Now mostly lives alone. Unlike Now, Kudai is very energetic and outgoing. Kudai meets Potemayo and like everyone else just accepts her as family. They'd say Kudai gets along better with Potemayo than his own son. There's a festival where they are, and it's the same one Miken's attending. That's where Now meets his future father-in-law, or so I hope. Miken is a good girl. Like any dad, Kudai starts sharing embarrassing stories about young Now. It's so cringeworthy that even Potemayo laughs at him. Meeting Nao's dad relieves Miken, who thought Nao was alone after his mom died. So you want to leave to spend more time with family. But Nao unconsciously takes her hand, not wanting her to go. Surprised, Potemayo freezes, while Maiken feels pure joy. Maiken faints, Potemayo cries, unable to stop her due to overeating. Still, she wants more food and strains her neck trying. Karaoke starts. Now and Maiken's dads sing as Potemayo sits stiffly. Heading home, Kudai wishes Now a happy new year. He also asks if Now wants to visit his mother, and so, the year comes to an end. Days pass and Valentine's Day arrives. Mutan imagines giving Potemayo chocolates, but his wild imagination gives him a heart attack. He's bleeding out when the teacher calls him to the board, so Kaoru takes his place. On this day of love, confessions abound, including one for Kyo. She gets chocolate and a confession from a girl, but Kyo declines, as she loves Nene. This is all Nene's story, and Uchuko overhears, heartbroken that Kyo has a favorite. As chocolate symbolizes love, Potemayo desperately tries to give some to her now. She asks Kudai for help, but he's clueless and about to leave for Africa. Potemayo bites his tail to stop him. Confused, Kudai just offers to buy her whatever she wants. Potemayo is excited to buy Now chocolate, but gets a weird mask instead. Potemayo's left without chocolate, while Mutan frets over the perfect one for her. Potemayo's sad at home, and she's not alone in feeling down. Nao's upset too, her dad left quickly, not even staying for a meal together. Meanwhile, Nene keeps telling stories of Kyo's heroic sacrifice, making Uchuko cry. Kyo arrives, Uchuko hides, and Mutan runs off to practice his confession to Potemayo. But Nene's right there, thinking the confession's for her. She accepts if Mutan obeys her, and by obeys, I mean she basically makes him her personal slave. At home, Potemayo's sad she couldn't get chocolate for her now. Now understands, but suddenly his dad appears out of nowhere. Startled, Now lands a hefty blow, but Kudai is used to it. He came to spend Valentine's with his son and brought chocolates. Before school, Now notices that Potemayo is sick. Potemayo is too ill for school, but doesn't want to leave now. She got sick from dancing to TV all night without warm clothes. Now must go to school, but Potemayo resists staying home alone. In bed, she hears the TV dance again and starts dancing. At school, Nao's so distracted he almost goes to another city, worried about Potemayo, who's using up all the tissues because of her runny nose. In the end, he runs out of paper, but the little bird sacrifices itself. Even so, Potemayo's mucus seems endless. Nao's so distracted he's doing math in geography class. His teacher decides to let him go home to care for Potemayo. Before he leaves, Kyo and Mikan give him some sweets to take to Potemayo. Nene says he must protect Potemayo with his life, just echoing what her slave was thinking. Mutan can't take it anymore. Desperate, he asks Nao for help as Nene always speaks his thoughts before he can. Plus, she's made him her slave, telling him after his confession to serve her body and soul to win her heart. This time, Kaoru can't do anything to help him. Meanwhile, Potemayo daydreams, imagining herself drifting away from Now in an empty void. No matter how hard she tries, she loses sight of Now and ends up alone. Tearfully, she calls Now's name until a light appears and Now waits with open arms. Potemayo leaps joyfully, but lands in the laundry basket instead. Now returns home and Potemayo becomes very happy and affectionate. Now hugs her back, making Potemayo's whole body quiver with joy. But her excitement is so great that she wets herself. There's a knock at the door. It's the school friends. They've come to check on Potemayo. Mutan's happy to see her, but gets the door shut in his face, left peering through the window. Kaoru finds Mutan's love for Potemayo a bit scary, but enjoys spending time with him anyway. In the end, Potemayo passes her flu on to Now. Spring arrives, and butterflies visit our characters. They swarm Potemayo and Sunao, who takes a photo instead of helping. Guchuko sleeps comfortably in her tree bed but falls into a bush below. Kyo rushes out worried, and Guchuko panics, trying to escape but can't move. Kyo helps by lifting her out. In her beloved Kyo's arms, Guchuko blushes and faints from excitement. Hours later, Guchuko wakes up inside Kyo's house. She's greeted by an alarm clock and Guchuko tries to destroy the toy bird, making the annoying noise, but it keeps dodging her attacks. After the alarm stops, the bird hides. Guchuko thinks it's still playing. Unaware, she believes the bird is teasing her when a plate of sweets appears. Guchuko smells something that reminds her of Kyo. She's right behind the door and Guchuko faints upon seeing her. She still can't handle being near Kyo, which is endearing. Guchuko continues eating her sweets, observed by Kyo and her maid. The maid is actually Kaio's mother, but we'll call her a maid since she dresses like one. Feeling watched, Guchuko's strange head appendages defensively shoot a ray, shattering the window. She then goes to find tape to fix it. Not only do her little strange beings defend her, but they also care for her and ensure her comfort. At night, Guchuko wakes up to leave. The maid doesn't want her to go because she finds Guchuko adorable, but Kyo sees her more as a friend than a pet, so she lets Guchuko out. Guchuko views Kyo as someone very special to her. Guchuko falls asleep again in her balopul and tumbles once more. The maid was thinking of Guchuko when she spotted her outside, so she let her in, and Guchuko went straight for the bird alarm clock and smashed it, claiming victory in that duel and taking the bird as her prize. At school, Mikan's younger brother Yasumi joins. Despite being younger, he's much bigger than everyone and always hits Mikan for getting close to his Now. For months, his sister's been smitten with someone. Yasumi learned it was his Now when Mikan started writing his name on her underwear. So Yasumi left his school to attend Mikan's to keep an eye on this Now guy and ensure his sister doesn't fall for a bad man, though if it were up to him, no man would ever get near his sister. Despite being overprotective, girls like him for being tall, tough, and somewhat sweet. Potemayo likes Yasumi and notices that he's a good guy, just a bit intense. Mikan doesn't want Yasumi near Sunao because she thinks he'll misbehave, but that's not the case. Now that I think about it, maybe Potemayo will like Yasumi since he'll keep Mikan away from her beloved Sunao. Sunao observes that Yasumi and Mikan get along well, and he mentions he'd like to have such a nice relationship too. Potemayo doesn't want to be left out and starts touching his face, reminding him that he already has her. As classes end, Mikan wants to ask Sunao out, but Yasumi forcefully takes her away. Meanwhile, Guchuko wonders why the toy bird isn't making the sound it made when it was in the clock. Of course, she thinks the bird is alive, so she takes it up high to see if it will fly, but it breaks when it falls to the ground, and Guchuko buries it. Later, Guchuko is lured by food, but this time it wasn't made by Kyo, but by her mom who wants to keep Guchuko at home. Kyo then tells her not to treat Guchuko like a pet, and he says this because, as you can see, Guchuko destroyed everything, feeling trapped. Yasumi's back, making sure his sister doesn't get close to Sunao. Mikan plans to make Sunao lunch, but Yasumi eats it right in front of him. At school, rushed Yasumi bumps Sunao, breaking his glasses. Without his glasses, Sunao can't see a thing. Sunao feels around, accidentally touching Yasumi's otter. Mikan screams at this. Yasumi accidentally broke Sunao's glasses. Mikan says they'll buy new ones. Mikan realizes she can approach Sunao without nerves as he can't see her. Mikan freely shows love, but Yasumi pushes her away as usual. Heading to school, it'll be tough for Sunao, unable to see anything. Summer's coming and Nene invites everyone to celebrate at her place. It's not just a house, but a mansion. Nene apparently comes from a wealthy family. Potemayo tries to inflate a float, but a bird pops it, sending her flying. The others come out, causing Potemayo to slam into the wall. Everyone gets ready to jump in the pool. All except Mutan, as Nene orders him to watch their stuff, despite having many butlers. Yasumi followed, hoping her sister and Sunao would have a romantic pool moment. Yasumi tries to ask permission to enter but gets nervous. He plans to sneak in, but cameras spot him as a threat to be eliminated. So the cameras start firing extermination rays at Yasumi. Nene forces Mutan to bring a feast for everyone. As they're about to eat, Nene's mother arrives, looking youthful despite her age. She's a beauty fanatic, and each family member is extreme in their own way. Nene seems to take love to the extreme, believing it means having someone as a slave. Nene's older siblings adore her and always want to help, but she ignores and even hits them. She prefers to have Mutan as her slave, which makes her siblings jealous. Mutan suggests Nene spend time with her siblings. Nene says it's better to control someone unwilling, so she ignores her eager to please siblings. She dismisses their efforts. Mutan acts madly in love like her siblings to be left alone, but Nene calls him an idiot. Kaoru feels sad as Mutan spends more time with Nene than him, so Nene calls him over. Kaoru looks as Nene gives him a bit of fan service, lowering Mutan's shorts to show Kaoru a view. After a long fun day, they gather to watch the fireworks together. Tsunao walks with Mikan, holding sparklers. Mikan enjoys this time and hopes to repeat it. He wants to help Tsunao however he can, and relies on Potemayo for assistance. Tsunao goes for a walk with his dad. On the way, Kudai does the Potemayo dance, embarrassing Tsunao so much that he hits him. They're heading to his mom's grave to clean it and remove weeds growing around it. Potemayo takes charge of the task, when suddenly a worm appears. A bird swoops in to eat it, slurping it up like a noodle. The problem is, the worm's about 8 meters long. The unsettling sight of a bird sucking up a massive worm terrifies Potemayo, causing him to wet himself. Crying, Potemayo runs to Tsunao for help. Tsunao didn't bring spare clothes, so they hang his wet ones to dry. Eventually, they finish cleaning the grave. Meanwhile, at Mikan's grandma's house, they're chatting. Mikan shares how she fell for Tsunao. She says she didn't like him at first, thinking he was just another quiet kid who never talked to anyone. But then she realized how kind he really was. It turns out that, at the festival in the school-held marathon, Mikan took part, and since Mikan isn't much of an athlete, to endure the route, she started reading out the names of the street stalls, and in the process of trying to read them all, she gets lost and ends up in last place. Disheartened, she returns to the room where she found Tsunao covered in what appeared to be blood, but it wasn't a murder scene. He had simply fallen asleep with a sandwich in his hand, and his cream had spilled. Without uttering a single word, Tsunao understood Mikan. He let her know he was about to leave so she could change comfortably, and like the school was his home, Tsunao welcomed her, and Mikan, as if she was a wife returning home, replied that she was relieved to be back. She remembers all of this fondly, although she thinks that perhaps Tsunao may have forgotten about her. However, Tsunao might not be as indifferent as she believes, as he wants to buy her a souvenir from his trip Mikan as thanks for always helping him. But Potemayo gets jealous and angry. She'd rather he give her a stone and a stick from the ground if he wants to give anything. They all head back home. At night, Tsunao meets Mikanan, who was also returning from her grandma's. Potemayo rushes to greet Yasumi and Tsunao smiles, saying, "Welcome back." Mikan replies she's glad to be home. At home, Kudai stands before his wife's altar saying it's hard to raise Tsunao without her. Just then, the bird appears and spits out the 5-meter worm it ate, traumatizing Kudai for life. As the fireworks festival nears, Mikan musters courage to invite Tsunao, but Yasumi butts in. They decide to all go together. Everyone meets at the festival, just in time to see Mutant's event. She's a cheerleader, wearing a skirt for some reason, traumatizing everyone. But Kaoru is having the time of his life. It's clear Kaoru's attracted to mutants somehow. Well, what can you do? Potemayo wants to buy something but can't go alone or she'll be mistaken for a cat and taken. The group sticks together. Kyo tosses candy for Guchuko to eat as she's part of the gang too. They enjoy the festival. Later, while sleeping, Potemayo goes to the fridge she first emerged from. Potemayo often stares at the fridge. Tsunao wonders why, but doesn't care to know. He's just happy with her. So he sleeps with her by the fridge and they both end up catching colds the next day. After the festival, Potemayo wants to buy something big, like a house or a Lamborghini, but she only has 3 coins, which isn't enough. Then now tells her she should buy something she actually needs. Potemayo looks through her stuff and realizes she needs new underwear. She has plenty, but I guess she wants something different. On her way to buy panties, she's suddenly hit by Guchuko, who's being chased by a girl. Potemayo pursues Guchuko for payback, but Guchuko throws chestnuts at them. The thorns make both even angrier. And so begins the chase to catch Guchuko. Meanwhile, 3 other school friends are working on a 1,000-piece puzzle, but the chase destroys it. Out of nowhere, Guchuko stops. There's a huge unleashed dog in front of her. Guchuko forgets his exterminator rays, turning the chase from dog versus girls to girls chasing him. The friends fix their puzzle, but the ongoing chase destroys it again. They escape the dog, but the pursuit of Guchuko continues as he manages to flee. Later, they spot and stealthily follow Guchuko, who steals chestnuts for Kyo as thanks. Kyo loves the chestnuts, making Guchuko blush so hard he nearly explodes. The girl understands why Guchuko stole the chestnuts and lets it slide. The girl then asks Potemayo if she's human. Potemayo shows her underwear, and the girl concludes she's human for wearing it. Though she's unsure if what she's wearing is some kind of animal diaper, if it's underwear, she figures she must be human. The girl points out where to go to buy what she's looking for. Potemayo leaves as a tomato falls from the sky and Guchuko grabs it. The girl spots her and the chase begins anew. As the friends near completion of their 1,000-piece puzzle, with just 3 pieces left, they pause to check for any nearby chases before continuing. Hearing one approach, instead of protecting the puzzle, a friend tosses it aside to prevent someone else from knocking it over, though the chase wasn't even headed their way. In the end, Guchuko gives the tomato to the girl, who tells him to ask, not steal. Guchuko leaves, and the girl departs happily. Later, Sunao gets a visit from a man who brings Potemayo. It turns out that this man sells bread, and Potemayo wanted to buy Sunao's favorite loaf, but she fell asleep. Sunao's surprised by Potemayo's effort. The bread costs 19 coins, but Sunao pays without hesitation. Potemayo wakes up, delighted to see Sunao enjoying the bread she bought. Sunao thanks her and returns the purse. Potemayo is shocked to still have her 2 coins. Sunao claims the seller charged just 1 coin, which is a white lie, meant as a gesture of gratitude. Potemayo is overjoyed. Later, the girl leaves home to find a dead toad and live snake, Guchuko's odd way of apologizing. Guchuko has strange ways to show thanks and remorse, but it's the thought that counts. Winter arrives. At Mikan's house, they're preparing for school. Yasumi spots Mikan's exposed neck and playfully touches it with her cold hand to tease her. So Yasumi accidentally touches Mikan's chest, causing him to freeze up, go into shock, and lock himself in the bathroom for hours, doing who knows what. Meanwhile, Nene plans to go to school with Kyo. Her clingy brothers want to take her, but she has a better idea. She calls Mutan to join them, and since her brothers are jealous that Mutan's now Nene's slave, she takes him on her motorbike. In class, the cursed teacher and Mutan haven't arrived yet. Mutan finally shows up, heart racing from nearly dying. Mutan tells Nene she went too far and brings Kaoru to back him up. Before Kaoru speaks, Nene talks for him, saying he doesn't mind dying as long as he's with Mutan. That's exactly what Kaoru was thinking. Nene seems to read minds but plays it off as a joke. It starts snowing and Potemayo excitedly jumps out the window. No one knows why she did that, and they watch her land on the ground, making the shape of the Japanese flag. Potemayo's taken to the infirmary. Her girlfriend tells the little bird to look after her while everyone else is outside having a snowball fight. Kyo gets hit from behind and Guchuko starts tearing apart anyone who dares throw a snowball at Kyo, until Nene throws one at her and she chases Nene, who seems to know how to handle her. When it's over, Mutan sees Nene's wet hair. Blushing, he offers his towel to dry off. It'd be a nice gesture, but Nene asks for his clothes too. Kaoru offers his as well, so Mutan's not alone, leaving Mutan and Kaoru in the cold. After a break, Potemayo feels cold too, and Sunao offers to warm her up on his bare chest. Seeing Sunao's sexy chest makes Potemayo wet herself. Potemayo keeps wetting herself due to the cold. We bought her new underwear, but she dislikes it, saying it makes her look odd. Ironic coming from me. At school, Mikan finds them and brings cold weather gear, a jacket for Potemayo and a scarf for Sunao. Sweet, but if Mikan gets too close, Potemayo might lash out. The girl from before arrives, greets Potemayo, and introduces herself as Tomari. She assumes Potemayo was behind him and gives her Mikan's knitted hat, not wanting to keep it. Tomari scolds him for being ungrateful. Yasumi ignores her. Mikan apologizes for her brother's behavior. On her way to school, Tomari is so lost in thought about Yasumi that she bumps into things. At school, Kudai arrives. Sunao greets him with a smack to keep him in check. Sunao asks why he's here since he usually only visits during holidays. Kudai explains he's here to research Japanese culture. Kudai greets Potemayo, noting she looks different due to being in mating season. Kyo thinks she's urinating more because of this season, and Mutan goes crazy, yelling to put steel underwear on Potemayo to keep perverts away, though he's acting like one himself. Kyo wonders about Uchuko, who's Potemayo's age, and finds her sleeping. She doesn't seem to be in mating season, only flowers grew on her ears. Sunao decides to treat Potemayo more gently, as she is a girl after all, but he overdoes it so much that Potemayo doesn't like it. But Sunao thinks he should treat her like a girl entering puberty, so he doesn't want to sleep with her, though they always had since they met. Potemayo ends up sleeping next to Kudai, fearing to sleep alone, but Kudai moves so much he nearly peels her in his sleep. Meanwhile, Tomari keeps thinking about Yasumi and gets a great idea, asking his mom to bring that thing. His mother is surprised by his decision, as that thing is a skirt. Tomari decided to dress more femininely. Yasumi and Mika are stunned, and when Sunao arrives, Potemayo wets herself in fright as everyone thought Tomari was a boy. If Tomari hadn't mentioned being a girl, I wouldn't have known either. At Kyo's house, his dad returns from a trip, surprised to see Guchuko but takes it as normal, thinking such creatures are common in town. He tells Kyo to ask for anything, so Kyo requests a small house for Guchuko to shelter from rain. His father drafts plans, but before building, he needs Guchuko's measurements, and Kyo uses his chest to measure, recalling when he once carried Guchuko and saw its size. Her father is amazed at how much his daughter has grown since her last visit home. He starts building Guchuko's house, but she remains wary of Kyo's father, staying alert. Meanwhile, Kyo and others, including Tomari, head to Nene's house after being invited. The occasion is a feast. Everyone celebrates while Mutan stands still like a display doll. Kaoru watches from afar, feeling down about Mutan and Nene being together, wondering about his future without Mutan. Nene offers Kaoru a gift to be next to Mutan as another display doll, which makes him very happy. As everyone eats, Potemayo feeds the person next to her. Mika looks on jealously, wishing she could do the same. Meanwhile, Tomari tries to get closer to Yasumi, but despite her best efforts, Yasumi remains uncooperative and irritated. They return home, and at Kyo's place, Guchuko inspects the house they built for him. Kyo's dad thinks Guchuko doesn't know its purpose, so he enters to show Guchuko how to use it, but this only makes Guchuko more wary due to how suspicious it looks. That night, Tomari's excited to bathe in the hot springs with her dad as usual, but at the mixed baths, she bumps into Yasumi just as he's taking off his shirt. Tomari stares at Yasumi's muscular chest, then runs off yelling she'll use the women's bath instead. Yasumi gets hit for free. Then Sunao arrives with Potemayo and tells her to use the women's bath too. Sunao walks Tomari back while she's still blushing from what she just saw. Maiken arrives and Tomari's so flustered she calls her sister and sister-in-law, at a loss for words. Meanwhile, Sunao's lost without his glasses, unable to see anything. To prevent him from touching strangers or odd things like before, Yasumi guides him to the stone bath. Though Yasumi still dislikes Tsunao, she overhears the women talking. She hears Tomari marveling at how front parts grow, hoping hers will too someday. Yasumi thinks it's about her sister, but Tomari meant Potemayo's front. We're left wondering about Potemayo's front, but it's probably best not to know. Yasumi and Tsunao enter the sauna. Yasumi warns Tsunao not to think dirty thoughts after overhearing the women. Confused, Tsunao asks what she means. Yasumi imagines her sister, gets a nosebleed from the thought, and faints. The girls exit the baths. Tomari imagines seeing Yasumi fresh out of bathing. She rushes to check but finds him unconscious instead. The girls worry, wondering what they were doing. Tomari approaches and Yasumi falls onto her, embracing. Surprised, Tomari gives Yasumi another free punch. Now Tomari worries she might be pregnant from the hug. The school festival arrives and Sunao's class runs a cafe. Girls dress as butlers, boys as maids. Potemayo and Guchuko help too, but struggle not to eat the customers' orders. Guchuko, always one step ahead, lets her ear things devour the plate she's carrying. Potemayo retaliates by sending her bird to eat Guchuko's plate too. In the end, both end up eating the customers' dishes. Meanwhile, Sunao charms everyone in her maid outfit, but trips without her glasses, landing on Yasumi. Everyone starts snapping photos to capture this sacred moment. For Mikan, it's another trauma as her crush is defiled by her brother. Despite all, the cafe is a hit, winning best booth at the festival. It's raining, and Guchuko, instead of going inside, climbs on the roof and starts doing a weird dance. He's probably paying tribute to the rain god or something. Potemayo seems to like the rain too, but Sunao won't let her out in case she gets sick. At school, Mutan reminds Sunao to bring his umbrella and shares what happened when he forgot his. He and Kaoru got caught in the rain without umbrellas and had to wait in a corner for an hour. Thinking about it, Mutan didn't get sick, but Kaoru did. And I don't think it was because of the rain. Apparently Mutan's wet shirt became see-through, revealing a nipple. Kaoru froze up, and after that he caught a terrible cold. Here's Kaoru's family, and they all have those huge lips he's known for. I'd say it runs in the family, but even the dog has those lips, so I'm not sure what to think. At Kaio's house, they're watching Guchuko, still waiting for him to enter his house, which was built for that purpose. But Guchuko does anything but go in, and now he's using it to scratch his behind. They bid Kyo farewell as Nene takes Mutan home to dry off, keeping him locked up like the good slave he is. Nene's maid arrives to dry her hair. Mutan observes Nene, noticing her beauty, and wonders if he's falling in love. Meanwhile, Mikan is with Junto Azunao. She mentions she also enjoys the rain, recalling how as a child she loved lying on the ground, feeling raindrops on her body. The downside was sometimes being mistaken for a corpse. At home, Yasumi collects laundry, touches Mikan's bra, and then avoids using that hand, even for eating. On the other hand, Mutan's room is filled with photos of Potemayo. He seems obsessed with her, but he starts thinking about Nene, despite denying any attraction towards her. Mutan claims to be loyal to Potemayo. His love is unhealthy, but Kaoru is the truly ill one, being rushed to the hospital. After the rain, sunny weather arrives. It's so hot that Guchuko searches for a cool spot, which turns out to be the house built for him. Though they finally saw Guchuko enter the house, it's not seen as a complete victory since it was built for rain, not for heat. But it's the result that matters, not the method. With the new season, a flower-like growth appears on Potemayo's head. Sunao wants to remove it, but it seems stuck. He worries the flower might be rooted in her brain, draining it until nothing's left. But Potemayo insists he shouldn't touch her flower. The flower on her head looks like a 2-leaf clover. Potemayo's happy with it until she sees Guchuko's 3-leaf clover. Potemayo gets discouraged about her smaller flower, but Kyo shows up to help. As a kid, Kyo always made flowers grow, so she starts training Potemayo to grow the flower. Rest, sunlight, water, and protein. But all this effort makes Potemayo sick, so the flower doesn't grow. Sunao worries about her. Being his usual clumsy self when concerned, he gets hit in the face with a ball and ends up in the infirmary too. After some rest, Potemayo recovers. The girls welcome her with hugs. Mutan watches from afar when Nene shows up yelling, "Let me hug Potemayo, you jerks!" That's exactly what Mutan was thinking. Nene then starts telling a story about Mutan, Potemayo and him together, but she leaves it unfinished. Mutan asks her to finish what she was thinking. Nene pretends not to know what he meant. Then Nene speaks up again, saying out loud that Nene is very beautiful. This was exactly what Mutan had been thinking. He stays nearby, further proving that Nene can read minds, or she's just very perceptive. Notice that Potemayo seems a bit jealous of Guchuko's 3-leaf clover. Sunao tells her each flower is special, and her clover might become another type. Potemayo hopes it'll be a carnivorous plant. They don't ask why, just hoping it'll make Potemayo happy. On their way home, Mikan shares some flower advice she heard with Sunao. Sometimes talking nicely to them, giving compliments or chatting about life can make them grow. Sunao thinks about this and tells Potemayo she looks cute. Before bed, Sunao shares stories from his childhood. The next day, Potemayo's flower grows into a 3-leaf clover. She's happy, but Guchuko's flower also grew and is now a beautiful rose. But it's no big deal, as Potemayo gets her rose after a few days too. Potemayo joins Tomari in the cornfield, where they find Guchuko trying to snatch some corn. They attempt to scare her off, but Guchuko kicks Tomari in the leg. Tomari leaves it to Potemayo, who tries to intimidate Guchuko, but that's all she does before going to eat. As Guchuko's about to leave, Tomari reminds her of Kyo's teachings. Guchuko starts thinking of Kyo, blushing at the mere thought. Tomari yells at her to focus, and Guchuko recalls Kyo's lessons on sharing. Guchuko returns some corn, keeping only what she needs. She empties her pockets, even forgetting her snake. They finish up and Sunao returns for Potemayo, who gives him the corn she gathered. Sunao's happiness makes Potemayo happy too. Tomari notices the flower on Potemayo's head growing slightly and thinks being surrounded by loved ones might make it grow more. As for Guchuko, Kyo thanks her for the corn, expressing how much he enjoys it. Guchuko blushes and the flower on her head also grows. Realizing happiness makes flowers bloom, Tomari considers giving Yasumi corn to cheer him up. But as usual, Yasumi responds with anger and curtness. However, Yasumi gladly accepts the corn, ultimately making Tomari happy. At night, Sunao continues sharing life stories with Potemayo, recalling a visit to his father's workplace with his mother. Kudai was climbing a cliff when he fell, with vultures circling his body. His mother was worried, but the accident wasn't too serious in the end. Mom tried making hot milk, but the situation quickly got out of hand. Sunao tried to fix it, but Kudai throws him at Mom, and he gets the full blast of hot milk on his body. After that, a new family rule was made: be careful with hot milk. At his mom's altar, Sunao recalls it was his birthday recently, but his dad didn't show up. Upset, Sunao leaves school to find his dad waiting outside, but he doesn't want to see him. The father tries to explain his work kept him away, but Sunao pushes him. This angers Mikan, who for the first time ever confronts Sunao, yelling that he should be more understanding and at least hear his dad's reasons. Everyone's shocked. Mikan tears up and runs off. Yozumi gets mad and slaps Sunao. Mikan rushes back to stop her, then runs away again. After that, Sunao returns to his father and apologizes. Then they'll head out together, which Sunao likes. Kudai mentions that Mikan is a nice girl, and after what happened, he notices that she cares a lot for Sunao, so he suggests Sunao should marry her. Potemayo jumps at his face to stop him from saying more nonsense. Later they pray at his mother's altar. While bathing, Mikan reflects on her actions and worries she won't be able to face Sunao again. She's so lost in thought, she stays in the tub an extra hour. That night, Kudai comes to sleep next to Sunao. Sunao hits him as usual but remembers Mikan's words and apologizes. Kudai's used to it though, so it's no big deal. We flash back to the past. Due to Kudai's job, the family was in another country. At that time, Sunao's mom was ill and needed lots of sleep. Kudai was working, so to keep Sunao company and help care for his mom, Kudai's colleague Morio was there. He became a friend to Sunao when he was alone. Morio was a nice guy who also spoke Japanese with Sunao. Morio was excited to surprise his mom with a Japanese letter. She couldn't read it, but it's the thought that counts. Morio suggested Sunao write to his mom too, expressing his feelings and love. Sunao did, and his mom loved the letter. But she wanted Sunao to say it himself. She hugged him, making him do it. Sunao, blushing, told her. After this, Sunao's mom wants to make dinner. Sunao objects, but she insists and overexerts herself. In the end, both rest. At night, Kudai returns, flops on the bed, and apologizes for his absence. Later, Sunao and his mom return to Japan, but his dad stays behind for work. In Japan, Sunao's mom is hospitalized. He's always there, taking her to see cherry blossoms fall. This was something his mother loved. After some time, she passed away. Sunao got a late letter from Morio. His dad was also late, absent when tragedy struck. This memory was a dream Kudai had, waking with tears. He's also woken by Sunao's hit, as he too had the same dream, recalling how his dad was never there for important moments. The next day before school, Mikan ponders how to apologize to Sunao. Yasumi dons a skirt to distract her sister, but their mother scolds him for the odd behavior. Meanwhile, at Kyo's house, Guchuko barges in, startling Kyo. Frightened by his proximity, she accidentally hits her living ear, causing it to bleed. Both Potemayo and Guchuko now have fully bloomed flowers on their heads, too large to balance easily. During this strange visit, Guchuko makes a gesture towards Kyo, as if wanting a hug. But Guchuko rarely hugs. It happened once when Kyo helped her out of a bush, and that was it. Since meeting, Kaio's never hugged Guchuko, so he's confused by her actions. En route to school, Mikan mulls over apologizing to Sunao. Spotting him, she gets nervous and stumbles over her words. Sunao tries to speak, but Yasumi whisks Mikan away, leaving Sunao mid-sentence. Potemayo, setting rivalry aside, urges Sunao to chase after Mikan. Frustrated at being misunderstood, Guchuko climbs onto Kyo's lap. Sunao chases after Mikan and grabs her hand. This act causes Potemayo and Guchuko to bloom. They need to validate their special person's feelings to complete their journey. Both rise and their petals fall like autumn leaves. Sunao recalls a similar scene with his mom by a cherry tree. After blooming, Potemayo and Guchuko lie still, without breath or heartbeat. Kyo cries as Guchuko hugs him for the first and last time. Sunao tears up and Mikan comforts him, letting him cry on her chest. Yasumi gets jealous but doesn't interrupt this time. Sunao thanks Mikan for helping with his dad, as he wanted to say. The strange bird notices Potemayo starting to react. It's true. Potemayo wakes up. Potemayo is still alive. It's celebration time at Sunao's house with all the friends we've met in the series, including Mikan's and Kyo's parents. Kyo brings more candy and tries to give one to Potemayo, but Guchuko, jealous as ever, swoops in to smack her. Potemayo chases Guchuko for payback while Sunao and Mikan cook in the kitchen. Sunao stops Potemayo's chaos. A bird notices something on her head, plucks it out. It's a seed. After a day of karaoke and hanging out with friends, night falls. They clean up, and Sunao finds the seed from Potemayo's head but doesn't think much of it, tossing it in the trash without a second thought. As they head to bed, the trash starts moving. Turns out, the seed was alive all along. The next day, Sunao wakes Potemayo to ask about the strange thing on top of her, which turns out to be another creature clearly of Potemayo's species. Sunao tells Potemayo to talk to it, but instead of speaking, the creature takes a huge bite out of her face. Apparently, this little thing is much more aggressive than it looks. Since it's normal to see such creatures here, everyone welcomes the new arrival. There's another surprise. If Potemayo left a living seed, Guchuko must have done the same. Kyo arrives with another small creature, which seems shyer than the others. In the end, everything continues as usual, but now with two more creatures.